After my divorce, I was like a crackhead gambler trying to get it all back in white swipe, especially the finances, right? Every morning I'd wake up, sometimes 3 a.m., full panic, mind exploding with all sorts of thoughts of failure, of not being enough. And actually, I was running. I was hustling. I was striving. I was trying to will back in 90 days what took me 13 or more years to build. I told myself it was discipline. I told myself it was work ethic. I'm a consistent guy. Like, that's just who I am. But if I'm being honest, if I'm giving you the full facts, the full reality of this, I was living in absolute fear. And it was absolute pain that was driving this, which can be a good thing. But I want to unpack today what most dads are also using this as well, and what I was using this for in a negative way. The busyness was just the most socially acceptable way I knew to avoid feeling both of those things. I wasn't building, I was medicating. And the drug of choice just happened to look like productivity. So I want to name this pattern for you guys. I'm going to give you a couple ideas and thoughts and pictures for you to unpack this for yourself. Somewhere in there in your life, the same thing is happening for you. And maybe it's not like it was for me. There's other things that you use so that you don't feel the pain. Every divorced dad has a distraction, but most of them don't recognize it as a distraction, because distractions after divorce don't always look like distractions. They look like hustle, like staying busy, like scrolling, like a drink to take the edge off, right? Like fantasy planning, maybe chasing women, maybe working until 2 a.m., right? All different behaviors, all the same root. Neuroscience will say it like this. It's called experiential avoidance. The brain will do almost anything to escape painful emotions. It's not weakness. This is your nervous system. This is your brain. This is what it's been trained to do. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is that avoidance never resolves the pain. It just delays it and amplifies it. And I'm going to give you a picture here in a few moments about what this looks like practically and even physically for you. There's a guy in our group that said this recently. I'm going to leave his name out just because he's a great dude. But he said, I don't want to do anything but try to not feel this. And that is the most honest sentence a divorced dad can say. And I want to just give credit and props. Those guys that are in our school group and in our Climb private community, man, like, we lay it out there, and it's ridiculous how many guys are just getting free and moving forward. Most men are living that sentence that he said every single day, but they're just not admitting it, right? I don't want to do anything, but just try not to feel this. Same for me, man. Like, I wanted this to be a microwave season, just in it and out of it. And I got through it, and I can kind of buy the t-shirt and talk about it later. That was my whole system and mentality. And I'm telling you guys, there's a different perspective and shift I want to get into today, right? Those of you that have heard this podcast, it's been helpful. Listen, do two things right now, very quickly. Subscribe, or drop a follow, either on Apple or on Spotify. Just 2 clicks. And I'll tell you why. I say this every time. There are dads that are even worse than you, and they're looking for help. And by you doing that, this literally sends the podcast to them. The algorithm says, hey, I'm going to find another dad who's worse than you and help him out. That's something small you can do. And you'd be surprised. You think you're in a bad spot? There are hundreds, if not thousands of dads even worse off than you are. Couple clicks, follow, subscribe. Let's not just reach 1 million. Let's transform 1 million. All right. I'm going to give you this picture for you right now. And the picture is what we had talked about, this wound that we're avoiding. And maybe this is what it looks like for you. This is kind of what it felt like for me. I want you to imagine a deep cut on your hand, a deep cut, right? You can cover it with a bandage. Keep it clean, looking on the outside, right? You can even take painkillers so you don't feel it. And that's what a lot of guys do. You can stay so busy, you forget it's there. But underneath, brothers, you and I both know it is still open and it is still bleeding. That's the reality of it. The distraction that you're up against, that's the bandage. The distraction for me in that busy season of just being busy and doing more and striving and just literally maxed out on cortisol maxing, little vibes right there. Cortisol maxing was exactly what I was doing. Put the bandage on it and just hoping it would go away. The pain is the wound, man. And no amount of alcohol, guys in our group, we talk a lot about porn, busyness, scrolling, gambling your money back is going to close that wound. I know you want it to. I know you wish it could. I know you think it's like the craps table and you can just boom, you can get your way out of there. But that is just not how this season works. And it's not how it's designed to work. You can't take an entire life and then all of a sudden think it's going to be boom, gone in a moment. I mean, I did. That was the stupid thing about it. And that is just the world we live in. Everything looks like it's quick fix. Get out of jail quick card. Make $1 million in, 48 hours. And all this AI. And that's what we have been programmed to think. And I'm not saying you're not going to get wins and you're not going to get growth. You will get wins and you will get growth. However, you're not probably going to hit the jackpot overnight. You will start hitting the jackpot in these other ways. In this wound metaphor, the only thing that closes it, the only thing that cleans it out, is to feel it, is to really feel the wound and to really feel the hurt and the pain. And it's not a comfortable process. It is not, brothers. Hey, no one likes to get on a table and get ripped open. Nobody likes to get cut open. Nobody wants to do that. And I've said this many times in this different ways. This is the surgery that you didn't want, but you needed. This was in a few episodes ago. I talked about the rock that actually changed your life. And if you haven't listened to that episode, it's been one of our top episodes in this last month. It's not a comfortable process, but it's the only one that actually works. So those of you guys, again, like you're in it, you're feeling it. It's painful. It's hurting, especially when you're alone at the house. You're avoiding it with everything. You're like, what do I do? I want to give you a tool right here. Something that I've used, something that I use in our school group, in our community. Got stuff I use with our one-on-one coaching clients. And I want to put that out there for you. Something to think about just today. This is what's something that really helped to break the cycle for me. And it's 3 shifts, literally shifts. It's not just a 1, 2, 3. It's things you have to think about. Number 1 is identify what you're actually avoiding. A couple guys in our school group, they talk, we talk very openly, very honestly. Like this isn't a Bible study, guys. We lay it all on the line. And one of the things that these guys were saying was that they were avoiding, sometimes it was finances. They didn't want to do finances in their life. They didn't want to do finances in their business because it was depressing for them. Sometimes they're avoiding confronting the pain that they have, the loss, the realization that they're not going to get the marriage back and it's not going to be the same as it was before. It's not the distraction that we need to name. We can name the numbing. We can name the porn. We can name the drinking. We can name the drugs. We can name the girls. We can name those, but there's an underlying issue and you've got to get specific. Is it the fear? Maybe there's some of these. Is it the fear of never recovering financially? I know I hear that so many times from guys. Is it the shame of what the divorce says about you and your identity? Is it the terror of your kids seeing you struggle? Maybe the grief of a life that you had written up and drawn up and it's gone, brother. It's gone. That's not going to happen. Most dads can name their distraction immediately, very quickly. Those of you, it's quick. Yeah, you know what? I numb out. I mess with this, or I get into porn, or I get into chasing girls. They know the distraction. Almost 0 of the dads can name the pain that's driving it. What's really driving the pain? And you cannot heal what you refuse to name. If you don't expose it, it's like mushrooms. Mushrooms like to grow in the dark and feed them crap. That's exactly what this pain is. And it's a virus and it grows. And I need you to write it down. 1 sentence. What are you actually running from? That's the first part, the first shift. The second thing, create simplicity in what you're doing. What does that mean? For me, I couldn't do everything, man. I could not make it all back in one day. It took me 13 more years to build in marriage and life of especially in the financial arena, of adding money in the accounts. And I had to stop comparing my chapter 1 rebuild to everyone else's chapter 20. The highlight reel, right? You're looking at highlight reels. It's not that. You're one of one. There's nobody else like you. There's no one in the position that you're in. The comparison for me, it was making me feel like a loser and driving more fear-based decisions. Why don't I have this yet? Why isn't it coming? I'm doing everything I can. I'm, contacting everybody, calling everybody. And I was operating out of fear. And people can feel the internal engine that is creating those decisions. Whether you like it or not, if you go to somebody and they're in fear and whatever, and they're talking you through, you can tell, you can feel the emotion behind it. So simplicity meant for me, what are the 3 things that actually move the needle today? What are the 3? Like I said before, guys in the school group have been great with really outlining their calendars and their systems. And this is a big one. I don't need 30 things. I don't need 10 things. I need 3. And everything else gets cut until those 3 are done. Those are the 3. Those are the 3. And number 3, here's the 3rd shift. Be confident in the race you're running. Man, I know that seems like impossible. It's like, dude, come on. Like, I don't have anything right now. And the saying, and I used to say the same thing, it's not what you don't have, it's what you do have. It's not what I lost, it's what's still there. It's all of those things that are still there instead of trying to chase something that's not there. You got to see what you're there and then build on what is there. It's not about the race that your ex thinks you should be running. I have a lot of guys that get this bombardment of finances that their ex was making more money and they needed to generate and they weren't generating revenue and they were falling behind and they couldn't take the kids on vacation, and that's just the loop they're running. But you need to be confident in your race, brothers. Who are you becoming and what are you building in this season? What does winning look like for this specific season? Most guys have no idea what freedom looks like. Beside, I want to be a better dad and I want to make more money and I want to take my kids on a vacation. Those are all great, but there's not specific. Specificity will create the breakthrough that you want. When I stopped looking at what I lost and I started tracking what I was building, everything changed for me. I got more grateful. I got more thankful. I got more doors began to open in different ways, different creative solutions for things. And the wins, no matter how small, become the evidence that the race is real. So if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. And you got to track the wins. You got to trust the process. You got to run the race. And I'll give you a scripture here to anchor this in because it's important. The scripture is not the scripture's not an old book. It's an eternal book. It's a book that's constantly talking to you. Hebrews 12:1 says, let us throw everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, for you. It says everything that hinders, not just obvious stuff, guys. The porn, the alcohol, the binge, the busyness, the comparison, the financial panic, the distractions that look like discipline. Throw it off. Not so you can sit still, so you can run. You got to throw the weights off for you to be able to run the race that is for you, man. It's your race. And I always say this a lot. Drifters reach for the distractions because the pain is louder than their vision. But builders name the pain, they clean the wound, and they build anyway. I was a crackhead gambler trying to get it all back in one swipe. I was, imagine a 20-legger parlay for, 50 grand. That's what I was hoping for. But he may not know the distraction is running him. So those of you listening here, 2 clicks, man, for these other guys that are running this distraction loop, 2 clicks, subscribe, drop a follow. If you're not on Divorced Dads of America, get in there. If you are not in our school group, in the show notes, look in the show notes and jump in. There's a free group. There's an upgraded group. And those of you that are high-level guys in business, I'm taking applications for one-on-one. There's maybe 1 spot left. Feel free to apply. I don't work with anybody, but I work with those that want to do the work. I want to leave that with you today because I've been in all these places. I've felt all that pain, and you have got to look into these things, into this system, into this wound as we talked about, right? Are you bandaging it? Are you facing it? Are you confronting it? Or are you just trying to hope and pray that it just goes on? Do not be like me, thinking you're just a crackhead gambler that's going to hit it and it's all going to go away. It's not going to work like that. I love you guys. I'm with you guys. I'm for you guys. I'll see you on the next one. God bless you.